much do we think about patient experience when we talk about healthcare? Today, I have with me Dr. Prateek Sardana. He comes from a clinical background. He is the lead clinical strategist at Etisalat Digital's health unit, and now he's working on improving the quality of care by utilizing digital technologies. Welcome to Future Now Talks, Dr. Prateek.
Thank you for having me, Alia.
Patient experience. What does it really mean and how much does it involve?
So patient experience is a broader term as opposed to patient satisfaction. It typically refers to sum total of all the interactions a patient might have with a healthcare system that shape the perception of that patient. There are several aspects to patient experience that patients value more, such as wait times to access different services, information, ease of getting information, interactions with clinical and non-clinical staff. On the other hand, patient satisfaction refers only to a single encounter.
Why is patient experience a necessity in the healthcare sector?
Absolutely, it's extremely important to focus on patient experience. We know that medical costs and insurance premiums are rising globally. And as a consequence, patients are also more aware these days and they're demanding better value for their money. Healthcare providers are having to compete with each other for patients. And if they were to improve their profitability, they have to develop long-term loyalty from their patients and not just focus on cutting costs. If a provider develops a trusted relationship with their patients, patients start to ask more questions, get more involved in their own care. This leads to better compliance with treatment plans and then eventually improving clinical outcomes. A study conducted in the US showed that focusing on patient experience actually reduced medication errors by 62%. Patient experience is also an important element of quality of care. When we talk about quality of care, we talk about effectiveness, safety, and also patient centricity, which can be achieved only when we start to address patient experience.
Can you give us some examples of how we can transform the patient experience with the use of the digital technologies?
See, we have to reimagine how we look at patient experience from the lens of digital transformation, make it more seamless, more personalized for the patients. Let's think of an example. Imagine a patient named Ahmed who has long working hours sitting in front of the desk. And consequently, he develops low back pain. He's got a mobile app through his hospital through which he books an appointment with a doctor. He can also interact and chat with the hospital if he has any clarifications regarding his insurance coverage or any other services in the hospital. The same app gives him reminders and notifications about the appointment. On the day of the appointment, he uses the same app to navigate his way to the hospital. A smart parking solution helps him to take to a slot which is pre-reserved for him, where he parks his car, which is near to where his appointment is. He walks into the hospital for his appointment, and there is a facial recognition technology or a digital QR code through which he automatically checks in. He doesn't have to wait in queues at the front desk. The same app helps him with indoor navigation to different services. Maybe he needs an X-ray, maybe he needs a blood test. And so this wayfinding internally saves a lot of time and hassle. Once his prescription is ready, he gets a notification that his prescription is ready for collection. At the end, he's able to make payments using digital means through his mobile app. This completely digitizes his journey and elevates his experience. Now, on the other hand, we have a team in the hospital, a patient experience team, who are monitoring the journeys of all the patients. And they can drill down on the analytics dashboard to individual patients. And they can see where the bottlenecks are. They can get live feedbacks in real time from their patients, which then helps them to address some of these concerns immediately, rather than grievances or problems surfacing on online reviews.
It's amazing what we can do with digital technologies in the patient experience. So if you were to prioritize 3 main areas, within patient experience to change or transform, what would you pick?
I think that the three priorities, the first one would be transparency, bringing transparency to the health system, making sure the patient through digital technologies has easy access to information. The second one would be addressing access to care, digitizing some of the services, such as using telehealth, and also reducing wait times. The third one would be providing real-time data to patient feedback. I think that's important. Unless we have a real-time lens to address patient concerns, I don't think we can truly achieve the objectives that we want with patient experience. But frankly speaking, we should look at patient care in totality, patient experience in totality, all the touch points, not just a few.
If I ask you about the future, there is one thing that you can keep from changing, you can preserve and take it with you from now. What would you choose?
See, I'm a clinician by heart, and I deeply value the human interaction between a doctor and a patient. And I think it really adds a lot of perspective and value in delivering patient care. So that's one thing I probably will not change. I would like to keep the sanctity of that human interaction between a doctor or a caregiver and their patient.
And if it was the other way around, if it was something that could happen in the future that you think it might happen and you can bring it today, what would you choose?
This is a no-brainer. So one of the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations is providing quality healthcare, affordable healthcare to all. There are, so much of marginalized population that still don't have access to quality of care. So if by the use of those futuristic technologies, we can bring achieving that goal closer in the present now, it'll be great for the humanity.
Thank you, Dr. Prateek, for joining me on Future Now Talks.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
At Future Now, we bring the latest technologies and solutions by collaborating with scale-ups, IoT developers, and our customers. And that's what the Future Now Talks are all about, so stay tuned.